And representing M Sport Ford, our 9-time World Rally champion, Sebastian Loeb. And apologies, we're welcoming Isabelle Galmiche, Sebastian Loeb's co-driver as well. Welcome all. Sebastian Ogier, we are going to start with you. As last year's winner, you return to defend that win. Tell me, what are your thoughts coming back to the Safari Rally? Because it was quite the experience last year. How do you feel coming back?
Not sure if I had a good idea. No, I mean, now we're here. I think the main reason I came back is because I really was, let's say, positively surprised or amazed by the atmosphere here last year and this passion from the people around the rally. So, of course, when you win, you also have some positive feelings about the rally and you want to come again. But for the challenge itself, let's say it's the less predictable rally you can do. It's gonna be a big challenge. We've seen some condition which looks much harder than last year. So I think everybody gonna get in trouble at some points. The target is to have less than the others and try to go to the end.
Everyone is saying that it is a bigger challenge than last year. In what way is it a bigger challenge? What's different from last year that makes it that way?
Simply the road conditions are rougher and some section with more rocks and also much more fesh section, which are very challenging for us because you don't really know what is underneath and you can always have a bad surprise and it's hard to expect how it's evolving. So in the same time, it's hard for the car. You hit a lot of dust. It can also get some overheating with the car. So that's many parameters you can't really control. So yeah, in that way, it's not it's not easy to say what's going to happen, but at the end, we're going to try to make the best of it, and we'll see.
Of course, the rally gets underway with a super special before we get into the really tough stuff on Friday. What's your hope this weekend? Because you won last year. It was a really great battle. You mentioned last night to me it's hard to predict who could be a top three here. Do you stand by that?
Yeah, like I say, I think here you can bet on anybody more or less. It's hard to say what's going to happen, but for sure the aim is still the same. It's still I was never starting any rally in my career aiming for, I don't know, being 5 or top 10. So for sure we are here to fight for top position, and hopefully we can do that. Some stages, I believe we're going to have fun to drive. Some we're going to have to try to be clever, but like we always say, it's easier to say than to do.
It certainly is. Thierry, let's turn to you now. Last year, we saw incredible pace from you. You seem to adapt to the stages quite quickly and know how to drive on them. Unfortunately, it all went a bit wrong on Sunday. What did you learn last year that you can bring into this year?
Yeah, I mean, last year we were all a bit nervous ahead of the event, and we had no clue how to approach that event. Obviously, last year's experience going to help us a little bit more for this year to know what is the approach, how it can go. I mean, we have seen a lot of trouble for everybody last year, so we know that this year we need to be well prepared as well in case of trouble. Always find the good solution and try to carry on. But somehow, I have to say that I'm really looking forward for at least the first event this year without any trouble, and if that could be Kenya, it would be even nicer.
We saw some rain last year on the final stage of Saturday's Sleeping Warrior. It caused absolute chaos for some of the drivers. And we have quite a bit of rain forecast this year. Did you have rain on the recce? And if so, what did that feel like?
We had a few drops and the road was a bit wet, but it dried very quickly. And yeah, it looks like for the rally, the weather conditions are a bit unstable, and it's hard to predict what's going to be the situation on the upcoming days. Remembering from last year, I mean, there was this horrible rain, and it was, to be honest, I'm not a real fan of the two new stages. It's probably one I will enjoy the less. Especially the Sunday stage is full of fish and very fast. So like Sebastian just mentioned before, we don't know how it's going to evolve, and we don't know what's underneath. So there might be a lot of surprises, and you could easily get hit by problem due to a hidden stone or whatever. But it's part of the challenge. So it's going to be tough for everybody in those conditions. And yeah, there's one who will get away the best with it, and there are maybe some who are going to lose some more time.
Okay, Thierry, thank you very much. Let's turn to Isabelle now. First of all, Isabelle, welcome to the Safari Rally. What have you thought of the experience so far here?
For me, it's a fantastic experience to be there.
Can we just try another microphone, maybe? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
For sure, for me it's a fabulous experience to be there. First time I come in Kenya, and it was my third rally with Seb, and you can imagine I am very happy to be there, and I think it will be a lot of pressure with this car and with this. I think I can say fabulous driver, so it's a good adventure for me.
How did the recce go, and how difficult is it for a co-driver here in Safari?
I think perhaps it's difficult because
it's
sorry,
not
my
real
English
road,
is not good.
so it's difficult to read.
Yeah.
Even for us.
So I think for co-driver perhaps it will be difficult, but I will try to do my best.
It is going to be a really tough weekend. I mean, we've seen the both of you on the top step of the podium at Rally Monte Carlo. It could happen again here, Isabelle. How confident are you feeling heading into this event of a good result?
Oh, I don't know. We will see. As everybody knows, on the rally, nothing is done before the end. But we will try to. I will try to do my best, and Seb too, and we will see.
Okay, Isabelle, thank you very much. 20 years, Sebastian Loeb, since you were last here, 2002. You haven't changed a bit. You look exactly the same. Does the and me, thank you. Does the rally look exactly the same? That's very different to when you were here 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think the road didn't improve a lot. But for sure, the format of the rally is really different. We are doing some stages like in a WRC format. 20 years ago, we had some very long stages, more than 100 kilometers, and we had an helicopter on top of each car. The road were not really closed, so he was telling us, we were in a radio communication with the helicopter, and he was telling us if there is something on the road, or it could be some trucks coming, some children playing there, so some animals for sure. So it was a different kind of rally. But like I said, the roads didn't improve a lot, and I think it will be a rally in the same style. Like, it's not only a question of pushing hard and being the fastest everywhere. I think it's important to go to the end with as less problems as possible, and so the approach will not be very different from what it was.
So you're telling me you have to use your brain this weekend, yes?
Like Seb said, we have to try. But it's not easy when you are in the car, but I think it's what we have to do.
Talk to me about your preparation, because obviously you weren't here last year. So how have you been preparing for this event?
I tried to watch some videos from last year, for sure.
Whose videos were you watching?
Mainly Sebs. But yes, so I try to understand a bit the road, and that's what I can do before the rally. And now we try to do some good notes, and yeah, the preparation is not very different from the other rallies. It's always a bit more complicated when you arrive on a fully new rally for you, but okay, we will do our best. Like I said, it's not only a question of being the fastest. You have also to be at the end of the stages, so we'll see what we can do.
How did the car feel this morning out on shakedown?
It was nearly destroyed after 2 passes, but the feeling with the car was correct. It was shaking quite a lot in the stage. I don't think it's our car's problem, but I didn't imagine that it will be so hard and so rough, especially going to the end of the shakedown after the 3rd pass. It was really destroyed. So hopefully it will be a bit easier in the stages. And what we understood is that in the rough stages we have to be a bit careful, because we will destroy everything, I think, if we push as hard as in the shakedown. So yeah, it was a good experience. We'll see.
Finally, hello, my mic's working again. Is it good to be back?
Yes, it's good to be back. I wanted to come back because I have a lot of memories from Kenya when I was here 20 years ago. It's another world for us, and so we discover it's quite incredible to drive it in the middle of all these animals, and so it's a bit like a safari, but in a rally car. So yeah, I wanted to come back. I have some good returns from last year. Everybody said that the welcome is very huge, and so yeah, I came back and happy to be here.
Okay, are there any questions for any of our drivers or for Isabel? No? Guys, good luck. Thank you very much.